Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today it's the freaking weekend, baby. We're about to have us some fun as we sit down to watch Heart playing as the Celts in blue take on Mr. Yo playing as the Hindustanis in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Blue sheep. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now the Celts, the Top Gun civilization built around their need for speed. Their lumberjacks work faster, which is great because Celts need lots and lots of wood for their primary focus, which is siege. Celtic siege workshops work faster, their siege units fire faster, and all of their siege workshop units can be upgraded to get 40% more HP. Now coming back to the need for speed, Celtic infantry do move faster than normal. Starting in the Feudal Age, their castles, their towers can be upgraded to attack faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second fastest foot unit in the game. I should have foot unit, I just say infantry unit in the game, behind, of course, the elite Eagle Warrior, and comes with a pretty good amount of HP and a pretty good attack. Now, in order to feed a big, growing, hungry population, the Celts can convert and steal enemy herdables, even if those herdables are standing right next to enemy units. Now, in this particular matchup, who is the enemy and what the heck are the enemy units? It is Mr. Yo playing as the Hindustanis in red, who is hugging his sheep very closely. Never know when one of those Celtic poachers might show up. The Hindustanis, a civilization that pushes its players towards an army composition made up of both gunpowder and camel units. To start with, all Hindustani gunpowder units come with extra armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get +2 range. Now, the camels also come with a few nifty features. To start with, they do have an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses one of my main concerns and issues with camels, which is that they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Their camel units also attack 20% faster, and the Hindustanis also have access to the Imperial Camel Rider. This is a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast upgraded version of the already awesome Heavy Camel Rider. Now, to defend their hand cannoneers and their camels, both of which may not necessarily have the most armor in the game, from, maybe ranged units that might want to snipe them and hurl projectiles at them from afar, well, the Hindustanis can field a second unique unit, the Ghulam. This is an anti-archer infantry unit that moves fairly quickly, has a high amount of pierce armor, an attack bonus against archer units, and whose spear can actually injure multiple units at once. Now, to support the quick production of these expensive units, Hindustani villagers themselves do become progressively cheaper as the game goes on. Currently in the Dark Age, they cost 8% less food to train, all the way up to 23% less food in Imperial Age, and the Hindustani economy can be made incredibly efficient by increasing the speed of all gold income by 10%, and by the way, that also applies to their relic income, and reducing their commodity trading fee from 30% to 10%, making it the second best in the game. And a little bit of trivia for you: who has the #1 best commodity trading fee in the game? I leave that with you. Cough, Saracens. In any event, both players pushing deer from pretty much the same location. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen such a nice little mirror of deer pushing, blue going to the bottom left, red going to the top right. Not a bad time for us to remove the fog of war and look at the attack path between the two bases, which is pretty much an open A to B line of attack from blue to red and red to blue. Both players sitting on 17 villagers a pop. Let's take a look at where their resources are. Primary stone for our Celt exposed here in the forward position, very much open to the elements. Gold nice and secure to the rear, as are 2 additional gold patches, so they're kind of close to one another, but they're also in the rear position, which makes them pretty safe. Forests providing a nice little wall off potential here to keep that extra gold safe, but pretty much the north and the east of this Celtic base completely open, and Heartt knows that he's already beginning to wall off the forward portion. Where's his extra stone? Like his primary gold, his secondary gold, pardon me, like his primary stone, his extra stone is off campus in the forward position. Mr. Yo moves forward, discovers the barracks, the house, and in a second, he's going to discover maybe not, that I was going to say the town center, but he has seen enough. He knows where his opponent is. Heartt, for his part, not the greatest line of sight on a Dark Age scout. No, where are you going? You're so close. Sometimes, when we watch these games and you see the players so close, literally, these are where the buildings are. Just one more tile, half a tile to the right, and he would have seen it. You kind of, you clench your butt cheeks a little bit. Okay, but now he's going to, maybe now he's not going to discover anything. Oh my goodness. Heartt, what is happening here? I don't know. Okay, now it looks like his scout is heading back. You feel bad for the players, right? They're like one tile away. There's usually, sometimes we see a relic in the middle of a little tiny tile of darkness. That's where the relic is located. In any event, I'm feeling sorry for these players. They are having the time of their lives playing Age of Empires. Primary gold very exposed to the front, forming part of the wall off. Pretty risky, okay. Primary stones secure to the back. Extra gold to the top, extra gold to the bottom. So unlike Heart, Mr. Yo's secondary and tertiary gold are in completely different locations. And it is our Celt in Feudal with the 15% faster moving militiaman who is moving forward. And where is your extra stone? Annoyingly off campus in the forward position as well. So not the greatest of locations for resources for Mr. Yo, with the exception of his primary stone and maybe the secondary gold. Everything else is kind of in the forward position and very much exposed here. Militiamen have grown up. They have gone through their rite of passage. They are now men at arms, and they are hungry for Hindustani blood. Now remember, now that we're in Feudal Age, Hindustani villagers are not 8% cheaper anymore. Now they're 13% cheaper. Because, of course, it was just way too hard to leave it at 5, 10, 15, 20. They had to make it 8, 13, 18, 23 in terms of the progressive discount. Just, you know, to make things a little bit more interesting. Spice things up for all of us who can't necessarily do math very quickly off the top of our heads. But the scout beautifully body blocking between the men-at-arms and the villager. What's the HP? Pardon me. Okay, down a little bit. Not too much. But first kill of the game. First blood drawn by Mr. Yo, who kills the scout. Not with the scout, not with the archer, not with the town center, but with this archer. Of course, it would be the 4th unit that I clicked that draws the first kill of the game. Archery range going up for our Celt. Behind this house to the rear, both players 25 villagers a pop. And now, to be fair, these men-at-arms can turn on these archers and catch them and kill them. Maybe once he gets the high ground here. Because remember, unlike other ones, these guys move 15% faster, which means they move faster than these archers. And their HP is not bad. 100 HP is not terrible at all. He doesn't have any upgrades on them, though, which means they're 1 pierce armor. Although Mr. also doesn't have any upgrades. So a bit, maybe missed opportunity there for Heart to have turned around and killed possibly 1 archer before turning around and running away. Now there's 5 where there used to be 2. And now the men-at-arms have no choice but to get the hell out of here. A lot of little hills for these archers to take, and there we go. 1 man-at-arms does die. 2 kills to 0. But we've got skirmishers out, and they will do a good job shooing away this Hindustani army. Hindustani, by the way, internal stable, archery range up as well. Blacksmith going down right as I click into the base. And so requisite structures are available for our Celt. I'm not sure. Where's the secondary structure here? What am I missing? Oh, pardon me. There it is. The thatched roof of the blacksmith with the big plume of smoke. And let's see what Mr. Yo can accomplish here at the 14-minute mark of the game as he presses in. But there are more and more counter units now. Spearmen to counter the scouts. Skirmishers to counter the archers. Those 2 surviving men-at-arms basically to soak up damage. So even though Heart hasn't accomplished very much with his, I guess technically a drush, the surviving pair, there's still 46 HP in the Feudal Age of tankiness, of body blocking that can happen here. Unfortunately, the skirmishers are getting a little too antsy in the pantsy and moving forward. Okay. Never mind. I thought they were going to be in a lot greater risk, but no more body blocking for Mr. Yo. 1 scout has retreated this way. The other scout is dead. Kill count 3-2. Heart is closing in, managing to get a couple of very nice gold costing units. And now Mr. Yo has to get the hell out of here. So neither player really accomplishing very much at the moment. Neither player really banking any resources at the moment. It looks like our Celt, a little bit more food, a little bit more gold to go up to Castle Age. A little bit quicker than his opponent. Still the same villager count. Still the same military count. Very forward farm here. And we saw this yesterday with Lewis against the Viper, a big old open space here right in the front of your base. But unlike that game here, we've got a big, nice, scary Feudal Age army. And with Mr. Yo's army having retreated, there is zero risk of those scouts trying to bust their way in. More villagers getting added to gold. Market going up for our Hindustani, who is now getting forging. He does already have fletching. So Mysterio prioritizing attack upgrades, whereas WeS.Hearttt prioritizing his archer upgrades, both attacks and armor. Let's see which prevail here. It looks like the scout to the north has died. Now, the Hindustani feudal aggression, like Saracen feudal age aggression, is a little bit scarier than normal, because I think I mentioned in the intro, their camels come with a +2 attack bonus against buildings. That, by the way, applies to their light cavalry units as well. So these scouts, take a look at that, building +2. Much like the Saracens have their foot archers with their attack bonus against buildings, I believe it's +3. These have a +2 attack bonus, which is why you're wondering how the hell did a few scouts manage to light that house on fire so quickly in the feudal age. That's because with every single attack, these 5 scouts do an extra 10 HP of damage, 10 HP, 10 HP, 10 HP, over and over, rinse and repeat. And here we go, they're back again. Scout is back, tell a friend, but now the archer's gonna get zoned out by one skirmisher. But the skirmisher, let's see how long he survives here, with the scout hounding him, chasing him in. One more whack-a-mole, boop, and he dies. Kill count 5-3. Looks like WeS.Hearttt, as I thought, is gonna hit Castle Age first. Mysterio still needs the gold. Oh no, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna gather it? He definitely has got 9 villagers. Now is the moment you want to force drop the gold. He's got the resources. Click up, click up, click up. But he's busy microing these archers. Oh no, he's busy microing the archers, making sure they don't die to the skirmishers, but they die anyway. And now he clicks up, about 1 minute 40 seconds behind his opponent. So our Celt's gonna have a bit of a window here of 1 minute and 40 seconds. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And he's already moving out villagers. The question is, with 630 wood, where is the siege workshop gonna go? Or maybe it'll be a monastery. Maybe it'll surprise yours truly. Or who knows what it's going to be. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of proxy buildings. Proxy stables and proxy archery ranges. I still suspect, yeah, there we go. Okay, you're still the Celt. So Siege Workshop going up. Never a bad idea to press with Siege Workshops if you are the Celt. Pikeman upgrade. So he's expecting some kind of cavalry contestation of his siege unit, or siege units. I'm hoping he trains more than one. But remember, your siege workshops do work 20% faster. All of your siege units, that by the way includes trebuchets, so not just mangonels and rams and scorpions, oh my, do fire faster as well. Pikemen are going to zone out these scouts. Villagers kind of standing around, not doing much, but still no kills here. Feudal Age army does get its first kill right as the skirmishers become elite. Ooh, pikemen versus scout cavalry. I don't know that you necessarily wanted to take that fight. It looked like he had the high ground there, but still not a fight you want to take. Maybe there were spearmen, I could maybe, you know, silver lining twist my logic into thinking, okay, maybe there's a chance. But against pikemen, I don't know. That +15 attack bonus becomes +22 now against cavalry. And even with bloodlines, your scouts are not going to be that tanky, but they're going to be light cav soon. And with archer support, should do a good job. That being said, the longer he waits, the more infrastructure is falling. Archery range is down. Does he have a backup? No, he does not. So no more archer units for you. Monk dies, but one of the light cav gets clipped on the way out. So WeS.Hearttt, is he going to retrain the monk? He's definitely has got the gold for it. Here comes a counter mangonel from our Hindustani, who is getting husbandry, perhaps realizing that, hey, my scouts are not really moving as fast as I want them to. Pikeman does bite the dust, and this is where the combo of light cav and foot archers comes in very handy against spearman line units. The problem is now the skirmishers have closed in. So bye Hindustani army. Was nice a knowing ya. And unfortunately, Mr. Yo cannot replenish his archer count. Also can't replenish any kind of infantry right now. His military structures are just falling left, right, and center. Looks like a bit of a mutually assured destruction between a pair of mangonels. Oh my goodness. Heart with the repair coming in clutch. And one more volley. Come on, you know you want to. No, he's going after the light cav. Come on. Come on, take down the stable. It's literally got 50 HP. It's literally got 50 HP. He gets it before the light cav pops out. And all of a sudden, Mr. Yo can't train any army. He can train monks and siege. And he's got 90 gold, which means he's not training any monks or any siege. Well, maybe a scorpion. Ooh, good shot there by the mangonel. All of a sudden, Heart with 10 villager kills does clip his own pikeman, but the castle is up for our Hindustani, which means the aggression to the southern portion of the base is over, but the northern portion is pretty much open still. And this is a huge army lead, 20-2 for our Celt. He's also ahead 15 villagers behind us back home, second TC. Wood is getting jacked in earnest, maybe not paying too much attention here. The wall is down, the back is open. Might want to build a lumber camp. You certainly have the resources for it. High ground mangonel does get clipped. Will it survive? It does not. The villager's a little bit too slow to show up. And oh my goodness, Mr. Yo, mangonel monk. The Gulam was converted and then reconverted and rejoins the Hindustani army. And we've got Gulams, by the way. I believe plural, somebody mentioned in the live stream, the plural of Gulam is Gelman. Which to me sounds like the name of a like a Seinfeld character. Yeah, I had lunch with Gelman earlier. Mangonel falls, but takes out a monk with it. Gulams do come with +1 attack, no armor just yet, but their base armor not terrible. 3 means they can run around. Also, remember they do. Pardon me. Caught the clip. Caught the end of a cough there. Monk to the bottom does get the conversion. Apologies for that. They do come with an area of attack, a blast width of 1 whole tile. We'll get a mangonel. Will these two Gelman again? It feels weird for me to say Gelman. Although late hiss, late chai. The precedent has been set for weird pluralizations. And now, if you're wondering where the hell all these villagers with Thor Mjolnir hammers in their hands are going, Mr. Yo is castle dropping on the other side of the map. Unfortunately for him, has no clue that there's already a castle here. And Mr. Yo, the king of holds, has held. Now his villager population is not great at all. He's lost 10-1. He's down 24 villagers, 23. Army count is identical. Infrastructure still up. There are still units here from blue. 1 converted Gulam and 1 villager. A very ragtag army of survivors slowly making its way home. Castle has been relocated. No duh. Can't be having that castle under attack there. And now the Woad Raider is out. Let's see Woad Raiders take on Gulams or Gel. Again, it's so weird for me to just say Gelman, but I did look it up. It is technically the plural of Gulams. Of Gulam, I should say. Now, Gulam versus Woad Raider is not going to be a fair fight. The Woad Raider is much stronger, much tankier, much faster, although the Gulam is not a slow unit. I don't think he's got squires. No, he does not have squires just yet. Ooh, that is an oversight. Now, I say oversight, he lost his barracks pretty much right at the beginning of that Celtic assault. Speaking of Celtic assault, our Celt is on the other side of the map. Already has 1 kill. Looks like this 1 Gulam whose blood is now feeding that farm. Oh, synchronized attack, baby. Poke, 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 poke. Oh, you love to see it. They must come with an attack bonus against buildings. Yeah, +2 as well. was saying the HP on the building is falling very quickly here. 200, 160, 60. Down it goes. Not every day you get to see just a handful of Gelman. Again, I don't know why I have such an odd time saying that word. Again, tell me if I'm mistaken. Doesn't it sound like a character from Seinfeld? What was Kramer? Kramer was his name in the first episode in the pilot wasn't Kramer. It was something else. It might have been Gelman. I remember when he shows up to the apartment with Jerry for the first time. It's not Kramer. They changed it in the later episodes to Kramer. I'll have to remember. Maybe it'll pop into my head. Relief column of Woad Raiders are moving in. Will the market make it? Ooh, distracted the Gelman pivot away, but now the market should fall, and both players just tearing into each other's infrastructures. Mr. Yo's castle, by the way, fantastically placed to get that blacksmith that I missed earlier. Archery range, not so much. I doubt we're going to see very many archers out of our Celt. Although never say never, seems to be cavalry archers are the name of the game for everybody these days. And so even without bloodlines, even without thumb ring Parthian tactics, bracer, never say never anymore. I've learned my lesson. Third TC going up for our Hindustani, who has added a second to the south here, next to the gold and the wood. Not bad at all, but in come the Woads. Mr. Yo sees it immediately, garrisons. Ooh, good maneuvering. Not a single one died there. Neither player with ballistics, because why would they? More infrastructure being destroyed here, more stone being taken. This is the secondary patch of stone for our Celt. Looks like his primary has just pretty much been depleted right as I pivoted there. So Mr. Yo is busy kind of clearing up space, making a bit of a staging area for himself here with his Gulam army, +1, +2 on them. The Woads doing a bit of a loop-de-loop, perhaps looking for additional infrastructure. Not too sure they're going to find anything. More Gelman are going to discover this TC, though. Beautiful maneuvering out of both players. I mean, remember, these are infantry units. These are not cavalry units. And so the maneuvering out of both of the players, now it looks like we finally do have squires. Converted Woad takes on non-converted Woad. Few buddies intercept him, kill him, and down that Woad goes. Again, I'm going to put them side by side to compare the stats, because one-on-one, this is really not a fair fight. The Gulam attacks two less. Same no-zero base melee armor, but look at the HP difference. About 15%, and Celt ETC to the west. Where's this one villager think he's going? Straight to hell, say these scorpions, and now all of a sudden Heart, whose infrastructure is still up, Mr. Yo did not remove it, is on the warpath with a siege army back in front of the Celtic base. Not much ado. And did I see cav archers? I mean, come on. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. It would have been hilarious to see Celtic cav archers, but again, no Parthian tactics for the Hindustanis, which is pretty much, I think, the only upgrade they're missing on their cav archers. So maybe not surprising that we're seeing this. He already had an upgrade or two. He already had bloodlines, so why the hell not? Mr. Yo only has 4 villagers on food. So if you want to keep going with your Gulam army, I mean, the Gulams are not expensive. They're only 30 food. But with 4 villagers on food, I don't think Mr. Yo's economy is going to be growing anytime soon. Training 2 villagers at a time, while Heart is training 9 villagers at a time. That being said, do you need it if you're going cav archers? What's the armor on the Woads right now? 3 with a base of 1 + 2. And the Woads insert themselves in here. But Heart, with the bigger economy, by the way, much bigger, 24 villager lead economy, is going up to Imperial, and Mr. Yo has cleaned this up. And all of a sudden, There's no more siege. All there are a few Woad Raiders, 18 to be exact. But has Mysterio done the damage he needs? This is, there's Stronghold. So castles are going to attack 33% faster. And in addition to that, infantry hiding underneath the castle, chilling like a villain, are going to regenerate HP. And by the way, that is a massive aura of healing. It is 7 tile radius. So an 18 tile by 18 tile square now. Infantry units here regenerate HP. Mysterio is moving out. He's got monks. He's got cav archers. What he doesn't have is any way of going up to Imperial. He does finally have 19 villagers on food. Heart, for his part, does have 2 castles, which means 2 trebuchets should pop out. Does have the wood and gold for it. And let's see. The Woads are getting converted. Cav archers take the high ground. Villagers are on the retreat. Castle not starting at all. Converted Woads are going after the Celtic siege. Brilliant move there out of Mr. Yo. But in 27 seconds, he's going to discover his opponent is an Imperial. Scorpion is about to fall. So are the converted Woads. But holy shit, every time I watch Woad Raiders from I don't know what to I don't know when, always surprised at how freaking powerful this unit is. And Heart is in Imperial. Show me 2 trebs. I'm like Steve Harvey in Family Feud. Show me 2 trebs. Oh, he doesn't have the wood for it. He he started training scorpions. Oh, well, we've got an imp into GG. Let's see what's going on around the map. I mean, Mysterio's down 31 villagers, but army count is not terrible. He's got 17 cav archers. He can inflict a good amount of injury and pain. Unfortunately, in 43 seconds, this unit's about to have 85 freaking HP and a huge base attack and just way too hard. And like I said, I'm always in shock. We probably shouldn't be by this point at how well Woad Raiders take fights and how powerful they are just by virtue of their stats. And Mr. Yo, the king of holds, held not once but twice, ultimately though unable to compete economically with his Celtic opponent, and now he's been kicked off the gold as well. Look at his resources actually. What was he training right before? He got 800, so he's got the gold. He's training some cav archers, so basically wood and gold. 6 villagers, 300 food. Well, actually, pardon me, not 300 food. 300 food minus the 18% discount. Because, you know, it is the Hindustanis. Again, why did they change it from 5, 10, 15, 20? It was so easy to calculate. But in any event, what a fun game. I mean, both players tearing into one another. Heart, with the quicker castle time, drops the infrastructure. Mysterio with a bit of an oversight, leaving this infrastructure up, which did lead to that second powerful push here with all of that siege and the Woad Raiders, which, again, Mysterio held against. But when you're holding back home, that's resources that you are not spending on the attack in the forward position. And then, like I said, to be fair, he does have the cav archers, which can pick away. They can park themselves right here and pick away at these villagers. You can also pick away at some of these villagers. This is a very exposed area here to the back. They can park in this little area between the 2 TCs. Unfortunately, now you're in Imperial Age. Well, your opponent's in Imperial Age. You're going to deal with pretty much trebuchets. Although remember, trebuchets, they take time to come out. It's a 50-second training time, and then it's an 11-second unpacking time, and then it's a 10-second firing time. And by the way, they move, what is it, 0.8 tiles per second? So let's assume these are 10 tiles. That's another 8 seconds of movement time just to get to firing range. So you do have a little bit of time, and you didn't see a single treb yet, but I think Mysterio just realized economically he's way too far behind. No way that he can maintain an army and go up to Imperial. Although, to be fair, playing devil's advocate to my own point, he's on the aggressive over here, and he's on the aggressive over here. So if he wanted to take his foot off the gas pedal just a tiny little bit, he probably could have gotten up to Imperial. Even if he loses this castle back home, he still does have a castle. But the question is, what the hell do you do against an elite Woad Raider as the Hindustanis? Shatagni hand cannoneer comes to mind, but Shatagni, the upgrade that adds +2 range to their hand cannoneers, is not cheap. 500 food, 300 gold, and besides that, you also have to research chemistry. to get the hand cannoneers. So that's 800 gold and 800 food, 500 gold, just to be able to get decent hand cannoneers out. And then you have to support those hand cannoneers, because if you're not supported, the woads are just going to swarm right over them. And in the same time, your gold income is now being cut. You've got 12 of your gold villagers about to die. I would say a good 6 or 7 are going to die on this running away, this exodus from the gold patch to the town center. Maybe 7, 8, maybe all of them. Who knows? In 43 seconds, oh, if they were elite, pretty much all of them would be dead. But in any event, Mysterio, I think, realizes, despite the fact that he's putting on pressure and has a little bit of time here and there with a bit of a fighting retreat, he could get up to Imperial. Unfortunately, if he gets up to Imperial, he's going to be broke as a joke, because going up to Imperial means he can't train any more villagers at the moment, and being stuck at 80 to 111 is not great. Or you can keep going in Castle Age, in which case you're facing Imperial Age Celt with elite Woad Raiders and Siege and all that good stuff, and you've gone heavy on the Cav Archers, and Cav Archers traditionally not the greatest of units against Trebuchets, which come with triple-digit Pierce armor once they're unpacked. And unfortunately, all of those factors, I think, leading up into one big ball conclusion that I think it's time for me to GG, and Mysterio does exactly that. By the way, I will say, these two players have been duking it out on the ranked ladder. Heart is very close to 2,900 Elo. I think at the time of recording this, he's at like 2,880 or something like that. He might be the #1 highest ranked ladder player at the moment, now that Hera is taking a bit of a well-deserved chill vacation or break or whatever Hera is doing after Red Bull. But Heart is grinding the ladder at the moment, and him and Mysterio have just been butting heads over and over and over again. And look at his Elo, 2862. 2862. And like I said, he is very much on the cusp of hitting 2,900. So I don't know who's going to hit 3,000 first. Is it going to be Heart or is it going to be Hera? In any event, all we know is it will be the letter H. And with that letter H, let's take a look. Woad Raiders, ooh, just 22 Ghulams, 26 Cav Archers. I think Mysterio just, I don't know about the transition between these two. Maybe, obviously, Ghulams are never going to stack well against Woad Raiders unless you factor in their blast damage, which is always fun to say for an infantry unit. And again, I should say Gelman. What the hell was Kramer's name in the first episode of Seinfeld? I'm gonna have to look that up. PKPM pretty decent at the 19-minute mark. PKPM at the 11-minute mark for Mr. Yo. Economies, I can't see them being close at all. All trash resources going to the Celt. Gold as well, and stone for our Hindustani, who, let's see how much he managed to deplete of the secondary stone patch here. Okay, so basically 3/4, 75%, it looks like. A little bit over 75% of the 4 patches of stone that were there, Mysterio has taken. Not bad at all. Conversion count, 5 to 6. Raisings, 13 to 8. I felt like it was much higher. Maybe towards the end of the game, they kind of stopped attacking the buildings and started attacking each other's armies. And to be fair, Mysterio has killed 22 villagers. Heart has killed 33. And so that 11 villager disparity, even if you added back into the 80, is not really going to help very much. He's still down 31 villagers. Even if you add back 11, still down 20 villagers. And you have not touched the Celts' economy at all. He's up to 3 fully operational town centers, 2 castles. Doesn't have the wood or the gold for Trebs just yet, but you don't know that. All you know is that you're facing off against a pro player in Imperial, and that he's got 2 castles to your 1 forward castle. And even though Mr. Yo did a decent job expanding to the south when he was pressed in, unfortunately, yeah, just not able to destroy these structures, I think led to that second push of Woad Raiders and Siege, and because of that, he had to retreat, at least with his resources, retreat and play more defensively. And it looks like he's rebuilt his barracks. Obviously, we saw that he finally got squires and 3 archery ranges, but too little, too late. It is Heart who, with the base exchange battle, manages to pump out a good army, distract Mysterio back home, while he himself, with his villager lead, rushes up to Imperial, gets there, goes up to Elite Woad Raider, takes the W, but GG in an incredibly back and forth game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.